Okay, rip everyone, but not rip everyone, because what a double whammy of a bait and switch. No one thought Llyod was actually gone for, but I'm pretty sure most people are probably thinking, how does Llyod pull through when he got skewered through his chest, his eye, his head? I was like, what is going on? The reveal of the decoy was very well done because it was quite believable up until they showed it. It's kind of nice how they cut away after that moment, so you just have to ponder how he gets out of that. But I have to say the real shocker was the assassins, because it looked like she wasn't gonna make it. She may be a human voodoo doll, but cutting your own head off in order to cut that army of Humpty Dumpty and his followers, that was game over. To have the brothers' army come in before she committed the act was actually not only a great way to be a bait and switch, but it turns what was just a funny joke into such an important detail. When our bro was like, all out war, the assassins kidnapped my brother and his underwear are covered in slimy goo. That happened. I thought he would show up after everything was dealt with. And the fact that only because he was sent, you know, the wrong impression of what happened, are these two characters still going to be alive. I did not expect last week to blow me away the way it did, nor did I expect this episode to be so shocking with such great bait and switches that leave you wanting more. Of course, I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full length thought to this or any of these wonderful 7th Prince episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. First things first, round of applause. I thought this was going to be a very quick match because our boy had his Sid moment from Eminence and Shadow. Instead of I am Atomic, he was just like, I'm me. He's him. And the idea of teleport makes his destruction lasers of death not as effective as it would be to most people. So going up against someone who actually was kind of crazy, I'm not sure if people will have an issue with how they animated that 3D moment with him and his barriers and all of the spikes kind of shooting at him. For me, I actually thought it was really cool. I don't think it was the best produced magic thing we've seen in this show, but I actually really like how they handled the 3D camera and how he was just kind of like flying around and watching the barrier get attacked. I thought it was a pretty cool scene. I wouldn't want every spell to look like that, but I actually kind of appreciated the 3D look and how they did that. And if I have a moment to be able to criticize Misfit of Demon King Academy for its 3D, I will do so. And goddamn, if only Misfit could do something like this like they recently did. I still think that was some of the worst 3D I've seen in recent memory. If you know, you know. But my point is this show has been very visually impressive for a while. And this episode was exhilarating. Like, that's probably the best way to do it. Complete shock and it was like the red wedding of this goddamn show in terms of last week's episode of just like Humpty Dumpty and the men becoming Madoka Magica's Shaft-like character designs. It was crazy. And I love how it kind of felt like between Llyod and this imposter, it was a fight for who had control of the art style. When Llyod was large and in charge, it was the art style we're used to. When this man kept coming back, he kind of got into that more demonic form, but like, this was just such an effective episode. I do think last week was more shocking and entertaining, but this episode didn't feel weak in the slightest. To watch Llyod have a moment, like this is how you know you have a great MC. Now, Psycho MC should not be on the throne. Corrupt in a lot of ways. This man summons the curse words. He says death or die. It was one of the two. And my boy, back and forth. Do I dodge? Do I take it? Do I dodge? If Grimm hadn't pushed him away, or at least, like, with his words saying, bitch, run, I think Llyod would be dead right now. Now, I can't say for sure. Maybe that word wouldn't actually kill him. It would just hurt him. But he almost let that word hit him, which was essentially death. Because he almost reincarnated for a second time. It is a damn good thing he has some responsible... It's weird to say, but Grimm, the responsible adult in this relationship, is the only reason. If you needed any more proof that Grimm is actually keeping this kid alive and is never going to kill him, lo and behold, here you do. So he summons like this, like, at one point, it kind of looks like something from Kirby. It's like this big stone statue or whatever. And it's kind of like brilliant foreshadowing, because in the moment, you know, it's kind of like implied like this can happen. But when he does get skewered, it looks like him. There's nothing fake about it. And then like 5 minutes go by and we finally see how he survived it. I thought he was just going to pull that shit out and do some magical healing or something. No, he was just him in a different way. And honestly, while I definitely didn't expect Llyod to die, I was confused on how he was going to survive, but I knew he would make it. 100% believed she wasn't. Because it's one thing to stab your foot and cut, because it seems like it's like, even though she puts the pain on them, she does still experience like exhaustion and pain as well, at least based on the impression. Cutting your own head off in order to basically kill 100 men of Humpty Dumptys over here, she wasn't going to make that. And, you know, the initial cut, the way they stylized it, I was like, maybe they want us to think she did make it, but I don't see how, right? Because if Llyod had already dealt with his opponent, sure, he stops her or something, but I didn't think, I was like, maybe the Brothers' army does come in and save it, but it's like, I think they're going to be too late. And then lo and behold, no. I didn't watch the preview, but I can get the impression that, body's gonna be hitting the floor, and I'm excited to see what they do. Because I don't know what they plan to do with the Assassin Guild post everything we're dealing with here. But if they can come back to the castle, man, that'd be great. But if not, just, I hope that they get a good ending. Because I wasn't expecting to like them as much as I did. And honestly, I kind of want to see them all thrive after everything that they've been through. Especially this poor girl who, even if it wasn't Jade who basically said, F you, I've never loved you, to be told that by arguably the person you loved and respected the most's body, even if it's an imposter inside, is just ice cold. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think this show has one of my favorite soundtracks of the season. I'm not sure like how I'd rank it officially, but it's gotta be in a top 5. The number of times the music's got me jamming and bobbing and weaving, I'm kind of like, oh, this shit's my jam. It just does wonders, man. Like, the production, not only visually, but the sound direction as well. Whether it's magical sound effects or the banger of an OSD, the VAs ain't anything to shy away from either. I don't know. The past handful of episodes, I think this Assassin arc in general elevated this show. It's been pretty freaking fun since the beginning, but the Assassin arc kind of feels like where the author found their groove. And I hope this isn't a fluke and that this type of writing and characterization could be continue to be seen post this arc. Though only time will tell and a season 2 would tell, but yeah, I really hope we see a season 2 of this one because this one's pretty freaking great. Let me know what you thought down below and let me know how baited you were by probably at least the assassin portion because that was a double whammy of a bait and switch and I loved it, but thoughts down below, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. And of course, ring that bell so you know if I went up a little more. Like I mentioned, we also got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shadow. So today we have Shadow Cyber Demon, Brandon Logren, Xtren, Power 9987, Jessica Compton, Tiago Germales, and Fate. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.